Mike, we are live.
Well, hello, Christian. Christian Cortez, Michael Zapsik, and Julia Zapsik live from the Secret Stash. How we doing, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, and I'm talking to those people out there.
Oh, fair enough.
I'll ask you in a second. Christian, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. It's always a pleasure to be here. It's always wonderful to be in Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
It is. Julia, how you doing? You need to hold up your microphone there, woman.
So far, so good.
Excellent. Very cool. Pardon me.
It's a nice day out. The vibes are good.
Oh, yeah.
Except for out front. They're
We don't talk about out front. We don't talk about out front.
Yes, we're not going to talk about how they're ripping up all of our streets out in front for the past 6 months, it's been 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So, yeah, before the holidays.
All right.
Come on, Redback.
For the winter
This
holidays.
has been going on for 6
But we finally
months.
found out why. So the first wave, right before the holidays, right, was to rip up all of the sewage pipes and
Yes.
replace them in the center of the street. And they did that, and then we were like, "Oh, breathe a sigh of relief," even though it really sucked during the Thanksgiving
And it
through
stank.
Christmas and New Year's. We thought finally it's over. Come back, a couple of weeks, it's nice and quiet. Folks can get in, no problem. Parking opens back up. Then all of a sudden, come in one day, backhoes are back out. Streets ripped up again, big open holes. What the hell is going on? Turns out that they replaced the main pipes, but the pipes to each of the individual stores still not working. So now we go through round 2.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
But we are open, and you can get here, as was evidenced yesterday, which we were super busy yesterday.
Yes, we were. Mm-hmm. And people were walking in. It was weird. Very weird. So, we got some breaking news.
We do.
Let's do rest in peace to Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me, 67 years old, his family announced that he had passed yesterday after a lengthy illness. So,
Which has yet to be disclosed? Or-
I heard it was something to do with his heart. So, I heard he had a heart condition.
when you are that nice. But yeah, no. I've known Gilbert Gottfried my whole life. Like, I've listened to him and not even realized it. I mean, the voice is so identifiable.
You mean you've known of him?
Yeah, known of him.
Okay, all right. I'm like,
No, not known him.
No, that's pretty awesome that Uncle Gilbert was coming over. Yeah.
Oh man, what a sitcom that would have been.
That would be pretty awesome. So yeah, that kind of took me aback because there was a post, and I follow Gilbert on the social medias.
Yeah.
And he had posted a picture of him, Bob Saget, and Louis Armstrong, and Louis Armstrong, because you got to have a
have to have a ghost in there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could have been alive at the same time, so
Fair enough.
and you need a trumpet player in everything you do. So it was him and Louis Anderson, and he's like, rest in peace, 2 guys who were gone too soon.
Oh,
and then
God.
very ironic that he is gone soon after as well. So talk to me about your experiences with Uncle Gilbert.
I mean, I'd grown up with this show called Cyber Chase that I loved. It was on PBS.
Yes,
and
of course
that was probably one of my first exposures to him. Probably earlier, Aladdin.
Okay.
But I probably saw that after the fact. But still, just like when you could always identify him, even if you didn't know it.
Of course, you could.
That voice, it truly, like, you could identify who it was just from that.
I know the Affleck duck.
Affleck duck. And I also grew up with him as a side character on Fairly Odd Parents. There was a couple other appearances here and there. He always guest starred on cartoons, but he always played something outrageous. And then the last one he did besides Cyber Chase was he played God on a show called Smiling Friends.
Okay.
And it's actually excellent.
I know about Cyber Chase. He was Digits, right?
Yes.
Digit, the some kind of bird. What was it?
It's like like a dodo.
Yeah, it was,
It was like some sort of dodo.
my kids watched it, and they called people dunce buckets. Christopher Lloyd, the great Christopher Lloyd's also on there, and I actually, I was, I can't say that I absolutely adored the show, but I was like, they've got some.
It's a good show.
It's got good casting, good voice casting, and they helped kids solve riddles, and I was like. You feel kind of stupid because you're like, oh, my kid got that faster than I did. So. But I had first seen Gilbert when they took over. He and the rest of the interim cast took over Saturday Night Live after the Not Ready for Primetime Players. So this, we're talking 82, 83. Yeah. And it was Charles Rocket. It was a whole bunch of guys God, I wish I'd remembered to look up the entire cast, but it had a featuring Eddie Murphy.
Oh, okay.
Eddie Murphy was like one of the only real bright spots of that
cast.
And Joe Piscopo.
Okay.
Who is now shilling for reverse mortgages and I think burial insurance.
Hey, you got to pay the bills somehow.
He's from New Jersey, so yes.
Yeah, you got to pay the bills. Oh, wow. I didn't know he did anything. Well, I mean, I knew he was on the show a couple of times. He had to have been. But I didn't know he was like a part of it majorly in that way.
What, on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. He was, yeah. They used to do, it was like a, what was the one with Mike Myers, the coffee clutch, the coffee circle with, hello is his ma. This predated it. It was a Jewish couple who would interview people, and they would do it in a very older Jewish couple way. They had like Ellen Burstyn on. So Ellen, you're a lesbian? She's like, she's multi-sexual. Gilbert's like, oh. So it was, and I think it was called What's It All About, Leo. So
check it out.
Yeah, no, don't. It was awful. It was god awful.
Oh, man.
That was a really, really bad year for Saturday Night Live. Oh, don't check it out.
Just let it be forgotten by history.
Exactly.
I will.
Yeah.
I will not check it out, I promise.
No, you probably will. You're going to go in there. You're going to fall down that rabbit hole.
Like, Mike, look what I'm so sorry I fell. Help me out.
No. You made your bed. You got to lie in it, buddy.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So I know if I fall down the rabbit hole, you won't give me a helping hand. You give me a high five as I fall.
Yeah. I told you. I warned you.
You did. You know what? It's one of my favorite Gilbert cameos. There was a movie a couple of years ago called A Million Ways to Die in the West by Seth MacFarlane. He shows up very randomly as Abraham Lincoln. And it's one of the highlights of that fucking movie.
Actually, that movie was very funny.
I think it's like very underrated.
It is highly underrated.
And freaking, he shows up just spouting so much bullshit as Abraham Lincoln, and it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
only for it to end with the bit of Seth MacFarlane leaning over to his classmate. I don't think that's the president.
Oh, yeah.
Man, rest in peace, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh, man. So in lighter news, what's going on?
Lighter news, I'm actually going to peel back. We're calling this bad boy our podcast is live from the Secret Stash. So I'm going to peel back the curtain a little bit and let you know how one incident can completely throw off your day. So yesterday we...
But not always in a bad way.
Not in a bit. If you're going to do that, you have to talk to the microphone.
Not always in a bad way.
Not always in a bad way. In an unexpected way. So yesterday, we had somebody who's going to bring in some books for me to take a look at. And that's part of my job. People bring in comic books all the time. If you've ever seen Comic Book Men, that was sort of, hey, I'm bringing in this one comic book. But it's usually not that straightforward. No. And usually it's also like...
Tons.
Yeah. People bring in, they pull up with their garbage truck and they dump it on our front door.
What's the most you've ever looked at in one
I'm about to tell you,
Christian.
Oh
wow, it's like one of those.
Because we had 21 boxes come in yesterday. It was 21.
What? Yeah, 21 long boxes.
21 long boxes came in yesterday. And they brought in 4 long boxes to begin with. And it's someone who's been a customer of the Stash for a long time. Very nice guy. A friend of his passed away, and he was tasked with getting rid of these books.
Okay.
And they're lower to mid-range books. And I saw the 4 boxes. I'm like, well, I can break them up into lots, and we can sell them, on the cheap on eBay. and we take a certain percentage. We take 30% of
Whatever
the total
sales.
take.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because we do all the work and we send them out, and this keeps people from having to do it themselves. So he's like, "Listen, I've got more boxes. Can I bring them in?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can just do this." And
You should have asked him to specify. Huh?
yeah, but this is something that we'll be able to work with, and
Okay.
and I'm looking through, and
It's a good collection.
let's put it this way.
Is it Bronze Age? Is it mostly Bronze Age?
Mostly Bronze Age.
Mostly Bronze Age.
Between 1970 and 1987. 1970 and nice 20-year stretch, 17-year stretch. So 90% of every person's collection is garbage. I don't care who you are, unless you are,
I can attest. 90% of your collection is garbage.
It's true. 90% of every human being's collection, comic book collection, is trash because there's so much filler that there's no 100% of a collection. You can't, unless it's, Silver Age, unless you inherit it from somebody else. And that's the sad truth, is there's so much filler out there and so many books that have been like printed to death. And he had some books in there from like 92 to 2000, which again, they were printing millions of copies of even the least collected books, at that time.
Well, and of course, condition has a lot to do with the value of the books
course.
too. I mean, you could have wonderful books, really rare books, but if they're in terrible condition,
Yeah, but if it looks like somebody wiped their butt with it, no, that's absolutely.
Nor are you touching that one.
No.
We're gonna burn that book.
No,
well,
no.
not in here, outside and away from you guys.
Are most of the books that you got yesterday, are they boarded and bagged?
No, not
Okay.
most.
Okay.
No, there's some that are bagged. A couple are boarded and bagged, and they're also very, very old. So they've been boarded and bagged since like the 80s, and you should listen to me, folks. Replace your boards and bags every 5 to 10 years, and that's kind of
Is that really best practice for comic
absolutely,
collections?
because
Okay.
they're not acid free. Most of the cardboard will start to pick up the inks.
Really? Interesting.
It starts to pick up. Yeah, I'll show you one of these days. A board and bag, and getting it. You're supposed to have the shiny part on the back of the comic book.
So there's an actual
There's an
way
actual
to do
way you're
it, and
supposed
then
to
there's
do
a
it.
way you're not supposed to
And
do it.
most people,
Huh.
it's 50-50 whether they do it right or they don't. Mm-hmm. And the ones that didn't do it right, it's been in a board and bag for like 20 years. You take it out, you hear that like little.
Oh, because it's sticking to the
sticks. And you take it off, but the ink you see it like it's
Transferred.
Yeah. And you're like, holy crap! And you
It's
look
been
at
in
this
there
thing.
that long.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And-
The more you know.
Well, the really cool, exactly. The really cool thing is you can pick out your 12 from Columbia House and send it in with a penny. I mean, if they're still around.
Wow. So
So,
take
yeah.
care of your comics, people.
Yeah, seriously, and don't smoke because this guy, a little bit of a smoker, I think, because it has that whiff to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I noticed that too when I
Yeah.
was walking by when you were looking at the comics.
But he's got some cool stuff in there, and we do that.
That's not it, is it?
That's
That's
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you guys can't see
That
it, but
avalanche
yeah.
of boxes. Yes, that is it.
I was wondering. Wow.
yeah, that has to get moved today to the processing room.
Yeah.
I'll help you guys
So-
when we wrap.
okay.
Jesus.
I know, right? So what's your plan for dealing with this collection? Are you going to batch them in lots
Oh, I
and
told
sell
you.
them
Yeah.
as lots?
I
yeah.
said that in the beginning, honey.
Okay, well,
we're
I'm
gonna
just
batch
reminding,
them.
just reminding, yeah.
Okay, I'm just telling you. You're like, tell them 3 times. And I got you. Yes.
3 times it sticks.
Exactly. My wife is quite the English major. She tell them what you're gonna tell them what you tell them, and then tell them what you told them.
Hey,
I remember that.
I now have it ingrained in my memory
Yes.
to do
Lots.
to
And don't smoke with your comics.
never.
So once these go up, folks will be able to go to the Stashes eBay
Yeah.
store,
Yeah, you can find our eBay store like
Jay and Silent
Very
Bob's
easy.
Secret Stash on eBay.
Jay's Jay's and Silent Bob's stash. Not secret stash, stash.
And actually, I think it's a link on our Instagram, too,
and
if
it
you
is a
want to
link
hit
on our Instagram. So, yes. So
You can find it there.
you can find it there. But we'll be having some big-ass lots and some fairly interesting lots on there. So I think that's pretty cool.
Okay. That's awesome.
But now, in this particular case, I know that we do make appointments for folks to come in because of the fact that, right, I mean, life, work is, work is happening all the time. You're serving customers. You're doing other
We're ordering
things in the store.
We're making sure that there's plenty of stuff on the floor to sell.
Yeah, but in this case, these 21 boxes showed up. We didn't have an appointment, right?
No,
So
we
you had
did the day before. The
For the smaller lot, but we weren't really expecting it. Really wasn't on the agenda.
We weren't expecting 21
21 boxes to come in. Yeah,
so few people expect 21 boxes to be dumped in their lap.
Yeah, no. Wow.
yeah,
I'm like looking at it, I'm just like, that is a fuck ton of comics.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a ton of literal ton of comics. We had to break out the wheelbarrow and
Oh god.
grab that.
So for folks who haven't heard the spiel before, do you want to give the spiel? Like so we accepted these comics under the
I'm sorry, you're talking about like what?
well, just like I know that we have a kind of a script that we go through with people because we get calls and we get people walking in the store
I think
all the time with
this
comics.
is pretty much for every comic book store.
Yeah.
You get a certain percentage. If you come to actually most people downplay it, but here's our spiel. This is for Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. If you come to us with your books, more than happy to take a look, more than happy to tell you what you can get retail for them.
More than happy to tell you your collection is trash.
I'm telling you right now, 90% of your collection is trash, people. But
From someone who owns probably all of the issues of Power
oh
Pack.
my God.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd be right. Yes.
And not me personally. I'm putting the blame on my dad.
All right. I will do. I'll let you.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So, if you come in with a collection and it's going to be 90% trash, we tell you you're going to get your best money on eBay. If you take your books, you put it right on eBay, you will get. You can control how much money you get for it. Mm-hmm. If you bring them to me, I can only give you a certain percentage of what I can get for it. And that's not even necessarily eBay. It's what I think that I can get for it. And that's an important distinction because if I'm going to take the time to look through a collection and buy, I'm thinking of my wall books. I'm thinking of my back issue bin. And this is how much I can get for it rather than putting it up on eBay. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we put stuff.
Because you have to determine whether or not it's actually going out for the stores or
Right.
on the shelves or just strictly staying in the eBay shop.
Yeah.
Because there is no in between. It's like if it's on eBay, it's not going to be out here.
Absolutely not, because that way I've had that happen too many times where something's on eBay and they forget to tell me that it sells out here, and then I have to go back and apologize to somebody on eBay because we sold it
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it happens. But you guys are professionals, so it barely happens, Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Yeah. Well, we try to limit that. But I can give you X percentage. Actually, it's usually between a third and a half of what I can get for it. We have to keep the lights on. I've got to pay people to board and bag, and
We got to hold on to them and store them until they sell.
Exactly. It's an investment. I'm putting it up on my wall in the hopes that it'll sell. We turn over our wall like twice a year, sometimes more than that. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking once a year I turn over, or twice a year I turn over my wall. Is this going to fit up there, or is it going to go in the back issues? And you have to take that into account, and it's taking up real estate.
Oh, for sure.
So that's pretty much what we offer. Or you can bring your stuff in, drop it off with me, and don't do it today, folks. Do not do it today.
No appointments today.
Yeah. I will put it up on eBay in lots.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I mean, depends
to
on what it is.
Yeah, and if you have a good relationship with me previous to that, that helps, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now I've seen you work with people who come in, and and it does happen. So just to let everyone know, all those episodes of Comic Book Men that you saw people bringing in really fantastic stuff. I mean, that does happen, and I've seen you work with people and say, listen, this is a fantastic book. This book is worth many thousands of dollars, but we don't typically accept those books, right?
I mean, for me to buy a $5,000 book, it has to be a really kick-ass book.
It has to be like the process where you like rate the comic book in terms
Grading,
of like
yes.
grading. That's what it's called. So it has to be like a high grade, I'm assuming, for you to consider getting it, or is that play part of it?
That's a huge part of it. But I don't do slab books. I only do raw books. Raw books meaning they're not in the plastic. They haven't been graded by some guy who burns off his fingerprints so he doesn't get oils on the paper. They wear gloves. They don't really burn their fingers.
I was about to say, I like comic books, but I don't like them enough to burn my identity off.
That would be so cool if somebody did that. I used acid so I didn't have no fingerprints and get all.
I'm going to write that
oily.
into a character at some point.
Good deal. Please do.
That's fantastic.
But for me to do that, I don't generally do that. So what I do is I send you out to. We have a couple of auction houses we recommend that you use, and if I'm confident that you have a collection that could garner, in the thousands, if not tens or hundreds of thousands, I'll send you there.
Didn't you have a collection come in? I want to say it was 2 to 3 months ago, and I don't know if it actually came in the store. You just talked with the person on the phone, but you did that, and I think that they had a collection that was worth. You told them not even to put it in the car and drive it down the parkway to bring it in the store, to go right to one of the auction houses that you recommended. Because
it was that
valuable, that that Michael was like, I don't even think you should. I mean, if it's what you say it is, and it's in the condition that you say it's in, was it a Superman? Was it one of the Superman titles? Did they?
Yeah, they're like,
I must have missed that
yeah,
visit.
never mind.
Well, like a Superman number 3.
No, Superman number 5 to 200. So they had an entire run of Superman 5 through 200.
In preparation of that, I begin to burn my
fingertips.
Right.
I glove my hands on top of that.
Yep.
Jesus.
You melt the gloves right on top. So I was looking at them. I'm like, wow. And lots of major characters' first appearances in that. They also had a smattering of Action Comics in there, which is also very cool because I think they had the first Supergirl. There was a whole bunch of other stuff that I was just like, get this the hell out of my store.
Get this away from me.
Yeah.
I can no. Oh wow.
No,
That's
it was actually
crazy.
really, it was insane, and that was what I recommended is take this to auction.
Yeah.
Are you nuts? Don't bring it here because if you want that, and she told me that they had gotten. Was it $5 million? Someone said that they have a $5 million collection. It wasn't. Maybe at its height, like $1 million, but that's at the height of like the comics craze when like the death of Superman was around. When Superman was he was on everybody's lips. The name Superman's everywhere. But
I don't know that we have time to get into it today, but one of the things I think will be great to cover on the show, and it'd be nice for you and Christian to talk about, is just what goes on in your mind when you're trying to project and predict like what the next hot books are going to be based on, characters. I mean, that's really. I mean, I've watched you and listened to you talk with folks. It's really an art and a science. And a little bit of magic all together.
There is no science in it. No, none whatsoever. Otherwise,
you spin the dial.
It's magic.
If there was science to it, 90% of my collection wouldn't be crap. So
that's it.
You've got some good books in your collection.
Yeah, but the other 90% are crap.
Yeah.
Mike, you don't seem like a 90% crap collection type of dude.
He just doesn't want our studios to get broken into.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's
looted.
but they don't know where those books are.
They're mostly in storage.
Yeah, they're mostly in storage, so it's fine.
I don't know if they can
Be
find
gone,
out where
evil villains. we have a lot of people watching with us today.
Yeah, we
commenting
do.
and
We
stuff
do.
like
Hi,
that.
Chris, and a lot of people commenting. I've been sitting here. Yeah, that's me on Michael's fan page, guys.
Beautiful. Why don't you ask me that question? Before we went on, you had a question for me, and I said, let's talk about it on air.
What was the? Well, I have very short memory. Jesus
You
Christ.
do? Oh, my
Wow.
God.
Wait,
so what comic is...
Oh, what's a comic that, like, may start off unassuming, but, like, you get so enthralled as you read forth and go on with the story? This is what I want to be educated with this week.
And this is what I'm going to educate you with. And I'm going to give you some homework.
Okay.
You'll give me a book report next week.
So, are we officially moving into Mike and Christian's Comics College?
Let me
now?
put
Is that it?
on.
Yes.
on-
Yes. Mike and Christian's Comics
Dude,
College.
we don't have music, so...
Not yet.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, there we go. All right.
There you go. I'm sorry, Mike. I had to.
No, that was awesome. So, an unassuming comic, a comic that started out with nobody being...
Like, no one giving it too much of, like, too much attention.
Right.
And then, as the story progresses, you realize, whoa. Wait a minute.
It grows, it blossoms into this amazing epic.
Yeah.
Okay. There are a whole bunch of them, but I'm going to give you the one that is one of my favorites, and it took me forever to start reading it, is Sandman
By Neil Gaiman.
by Neil Gaiman.
Do you want me to get the book to show it?
If you want, sure.
I know I'm not getting this, but, like, this
No.
book is amazing.
This book, the annotated
Yeah.
version. Actually, honey, you can go down below and grab the, walk this
Over
way.
to the
There
left.
we go.
Walk this
Yeah,
way.
Sandman 1. Yep, there you go. This is, it started out...
Book 1.
Yeah. It started out, Neil had a whole bunch of notions that he wanted to explore, and he threw them all, I'm not going to say all of them up against the wall, but he threw a bunch of them up against the wall in the first issue. Now, what DC wanted was, I believe and Vertigo didn't exist just yet. The Vertigo comic line, I think it started with Swamp Thing and Sandman. It was created because of these guys, because of Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman.
Really?
Yes, very much so. And one of the cool things is DC went to Neil and said, look, we want to redo Sandman. We have the rights to it. We co-own the rights with Marvel. Sandman's been around since 1939. He popped up first in, I think it was World's Fair Comics #1. And, we want a new take on him. Because they had done Sandman, the first one was, it was Wesley Dodds who had this, he had a gas mask. And, he a gas mask, fedora, and he wore a suit. And he was more of a detective, and he had this gas gun. And he was a member of the Justice Society.
Sounds like he could have been a character in an old-timey radio show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where they got the idea for.
How long had Sandman been around in the DC lexicon?
Since 1939.
Oh, wow.
So he was part of the Justice Society. So when the Justice Society went bye-bye in, I think it was 1947, 1948, Sandman retired with him. But in that time, there was Wesley Dodd retired the fedora and the business suit, and Jack Kirby came along and started doing him as like a Batman and Robin. He took on a sidekick named Sandy the Golden Boy. So it was Sandman, and he had a gun. He used to swing through Manhattan on wire poons, which sounds a lot dirtier than it really was.
I was just going to say, you're going to have to describe a poon.
It was like a harpoon.
I feel like I have to go wash my mouth out with soap now. Yeah.
He had a gun, and he'd shoot like this grappling hook, and they'd swing. And he had this
Gotcha.
purple and yellow suit, which is two notoriously hard, again, sounding dirty.
Only dirty to you, man.
Two notoriously difficult
Colors
for a superhero to pull off. Oh, wow. But they did. And Jack Kirby was, yeah, that's awesome. So Sandman goes away for like 1948 to 1964 when they bring back the Justice Society and the Justice League of America, because the Silver Age had started. So the Golden Age Sandman leaves, and but there's no new Sandman to take his place. So he's part
His
of this whole
sidekick Sandy ain't
renaissance.
there yet.
Sandy, that's a long story. Sandy was in an accident that turned him into a silicon monster.
Oh,
So
good Lord.
Yeah, I know exactly. But
I
that
hate it
was
when
again in the
sidekicks
60s.
just get the worst
Yeah,
of it,
they
man.
do.
They really do.
Bludgeoned with a.
This is really kind of. I had absolutely no idea that Sandman had such a long history.
Oh my God,
It
yeah.
went back so far.
And you know Sandman because he was in Kingdom Come. He was.
Yep.
He kicked Kingdom Come off because he had prophetic visions, and they retconned him for that.
that
too.
I remember. Yeah,
He had
I remember that.
prophetic visions. But then comes 1970, 72. Jack Kirby, long mainstay
King
at
Kirby.
Marvel.
King Kirby.
Thank you, honey. Jack King Kirby moves over to DC Comics, and he's revamping a whole bunch of things. He does Jimmy Olsen. They give him Jimmy Olsen to play with. So he uses Jimmy Olsen as a springboard for his fourth world characters, which include Darkseid, Desaad, the Forever People, Mr. Miracle,
Okay.
OMAC.
Okay.
You may have heard of some of these people.
Yeah, I knew OMAC and Darkseid. The other ones,
Mr. Miracle, no?
Mr. Miracle doesn't sound
You
familiar.
don't watch Justice League Unlimited or...
Oh my God.
Yeah, or Brave and the Bold? Come on.
So, would Granny Goodness fall in the
Granny
chain?
Goodness is also in there. Young Justice.
Okay.
Justice is all over.
Okay, yeah, I do know this then.
The Forever People, that was Bill Fagerbeek.
Oh, voice of Patrick Starr.
And,
Oh, okay.
and the voice of Big Bear.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or just Bear. I think it was Beautiful Dreamer. Big Barda. So anyway, you've got all these characters, and he decides to bring back Sandman. Now, Sandman is this scientist who pretty much lives in your dreams, and he's got these two assistants, Glob and I want to say Pustule, but it's not. It's like Glob and Brute. That's it, Glob and Brute. And that he...
And this is in the Silver Age.
Yes.
Okay.
No, this is actually in the Copper Age, the more current age. It's
Okay.
1974-ish.
Okay.
And this guy, Garrett, I forget what his last name is, Garrett Sanderson, I think. But he's just this... He's a scientist, and it's very Kirby-esque and very trippy, and you're like, this is badass. And if you're into that sort of thing, it's very Silver Surfer-esque.
Oh, okay. So I could see why it was a big deal when Neil Gaiman came in and did his own interpretation of the character. Because, like,
Well,
this is
they
this
said-
is what I'm assuming is what this is.
They said, we want you to, it's been 20 years since anybody, well, it's been about 15 years since anybody used Sandman
As a character.
as a character, aside from occasionally popping up in the Justice League of America during their JSA crossovers. So would you be into doing something like that? He's like, yes, but being Neil Gaiman, I have twists on things. I don't want to do a superhero comic book. He's like, because that's just too straightforward. Is horror off the table? And they're like, no. And he's like, I want to take a bunch of aspects of this character, and he created an entire mythology. So, but it starts off very quaintly. It's
Like, it starts off like...
not slow. It starts
No,
off
I wasn't going to say slow. I mean, like...
not
Quaintly
with,
is a good word for it.
not
yeah.
with a bang, but with a whisper. It's like these guys, back in 1918, all of these occultists like Aleister Crowley, and they're trying to, they're jockeying for mystical power. And this one guy, Roderick, Roderick Burgess, that's it, Roderick Burgess, decides that he's going to entrap death. So
What?
he's going to entrap death, the physical embodiment of death, and make death do his bidding. And it turns out that he entrapped something, but it wasn't death. It was death's younger brother, Dream.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and you have to read it to truly appreciate it. You wanted something that started off with a whisper and ended with
a bang.
Yeah. This is
So
it.
this
That
is
would
it.
actually be kind of cool for us all to read it and then come back
Sure.
and at least volume 1. I got actually Neil Gaiman's the reason why I got back into comics after a break. X-Men was my first love, and I got back into it reading actually Black Iris, which is
Orchid.
Black Orchid. Sorry, Black Orchid. And
Because you planted irises.
Yes,
No,
because
that's
because I plant irises and I'm obsessed with irises. Yes, but
Just
no,
gonna get my
Black
charge.
Orchid.
I'll be right back.
Sure.
And then from Black Orchid went into Sandman, and
Yes.
it's almost hard to talk about it without feeling like you're damaging it.
Right.
For me,
Yeah,
anyway.
I know. I wanted I really didn't want to spoil anything for you. And to be honest with you, everything I told you happens within the first 5 pages, 6 pages. So I'm not spoiling anything really. So, but yeah, it's pretty action packed, and you get to see so much cool stuff just jammed in there. So
Yeah. Awesome.
So that was your
Do you mind if I just interject? I just want to say that we've got a lot of folks who are super fans of Christian as a student, and they're pulling for you. We have a couple people here who are already giving A+, Christian, for Christian's Comics College.
Hey, listen.
So
Well, that was the thing with this show, was that like I've always been a very passive comic book fan, and I don't want to say poser because that's not the case. I do enjoy the reading of the material, but like I've always wanted to learn more because I know that there's like these beautiful, wonderful stories in these books, and they deserve to be highlighted. And these are books that I've heard nothing but great things about, and I'm sure I'll come across shit here and there, but like I'm excited to like delve into this stuff, especially considering Sandman also has an adaptation coming out soon, which I will not watch until I read the book.
actually it has 2 adaptions. If you have Audible, they did a full voice cast.
Of course it did.
With James McAvoy as Dream,
oh, I didn't know they had
Kevin
McAvoy's
Smith
team.
as Merv Pumpkinhead.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you didn't know?
This is the first I'm hearing of that. I can't believe it, but yeah, that's amazing. That is pretty cool. Now I have
Lies.
No.
Lies. I have played that in the car multiple times.
I know, but you know, when I'm in the car, I'm looking out the window and I'm daydreaming. I'm not
Hey,
focused
I'm not
on
in your car,
anything.
so I'm not in this argument. This is great.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if I was,
Nice.
that's a whole other discussion.
By the way, besides Christian getting an A+ from folks that are grading him online, Michael, your little tutorial about bagging and boarding, believe it or not, it's kind of feels like it's pretty pedestrian, but quite a few people were like, "Damn, that's great information.
yeah.
Thank you for
need to know that.
giving."
5 to 10 years, folks, and make sure that you've got the. I use the polyethylene as opposed to the polypropylene, or it might be the other
We'll
way
have to
around.
do a demonstration.
I will show you. I will tell you next week which
Didn't
one
you
it
have
is.
this whole conversation with this guy? It was Michael and
I
some other
did,
guy.
yeah. I've had this conversation
which end
multiple
do you put
times.
in first? Do you put in the staple side first,
The
or do you
chicken or
do
the
you
egg?
insert
Yeah.
it in the other side first?
Or do you put it in upside down so all the pressure's on the? And I'm like, no, stop, get out of
Oh,
my
that's
street.
awesome.
That's awesome.
When did Audible do that?
Audible did that 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, James McAvoy and our girl Kat Dennings as his older sister. Yes.
Say less. I'm
Yes.
gonna subscribe to Audible. No problem.
We
I'm
should
in.
get Audible to be
Audible.
kicking us-
Yeah,
Audible
that'd be
kick
great.
us some
Roll
bucks.
through.
I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a time check
Okay,
because
cool.
I know Christian's
Yes.
Day is not done
Christian's
after
Day
this.
ain't done. So
Yeah.
I'm an active employee of
Yes,
Shared
yes.
Universe Podcast.
Okay.
Studio.
Yes, you are.
We have a couple of announcements coming up. April 23rd, an in-store event. We're having David Crownson,
Oh, people.
the author of Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. Go ahead, show it to him. From 12 to 5, he's going to be here signing copies of that. It's
An
it's
amazing
free,
book.
no admission charge. Come in. I would buy these before they they run out.
Please.
Well, it's about to go. I'm sorry, I don't have my microphone on. Yeah, it is being developed for TV. So
Yeah.
pretty soon, it's going to be
You wanna
really
get your
hard.
Disney and Disney-esque properties.
You want to get your hands on Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer #1
Yeah.
as quickly as you can, especially a first edition.
And who knows when David will be available to meet in person again, too,
Yeah,
because he's going to be he's a busy guy now, but he's going to be even busier.
I was thinking about that yesterday, honey, because we used to go to Comic-Cons with Katrina Law, and now she's all NCIS. And
That's
she
right.
ain't going to Comic-Cons anymore. She don't need to. She's making that Mark Harmon money. So, NCIS.
Who was she with when we had dinner with her? We were over at
It was her
Char.
parents.
It was her parents,
yeah, it was her
right? That was
parents.
super sweet.
It was great.
Her parents are awesome.
Her mom's awesome. They were teaching each other Mandarin.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
excellent.
That's right.
They had vowed to learn Mandarin because they were going to go over to China.
And she herself is absolutely hysterical.
She's-
she had us laughing
She's
the whole time.
funny and gorgeous. So you're like, holy, and don't be jealous, honey. You're just as gorgeous. But Katrina is aces. She's just such a fun person. And but she ain't doing cons no more, suckers. So if you got a picture with her, good for you. If you didn't, wah, wah.
Play the music.
So come see David before he explodes, which I have no doubt he's going to. Let's also talk about CSMOD. Go to csmod.com. CSMODcast events. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want me just to read down the...
Here, I'm going to say Calgary Fan Expo. We've got Puerto Rico Comic-Con this weekend, correct?
That's what's on the list. So,
All right.
any of you folks out there who like to keep tabs and see who's going to be where, the who's who, smodcast.com or csmod, you can see what's currently up on the board for Kevin and Jay and just special events. For instance, Movies 420, they're going to have a pop-up experience in LA. It's selling out fast. That should be a lot of fun. You've probably seen Kevin tweeting
Later
about
that evening, yes.
Yeah, Tracing Banky, and all of these shows have
An evening with
easy
Jason Lee
links to
and Kevin
tickets
Smith.
and info. Right, so you've got
Yeah.
Jay and Silent Bob in Alberta, Canada. That's Calgary. You've got Jay's got a lot of stuff going on. Jay's a busy guy. In fact, the very first thing that's his amusing stories sold out. So if you wanted tickets to the April 26th and 27th in Winnipeg, you're out of luck.
Unless you got him.
Yeah, unless you got them.
Hold on, they're going to be,
Yeah, there's
okay.
a ton of cons. We're not going to go through them all. We will talk about the
But-
bash. Actually, I thought it was really cool. Jay's going to be in Nottingham, UK, at the end of May.
That's dope.
So that's going to be dope,
Have
right?
fun across the pond, man.
Yeah, that would be super sweet to get to. Now we have to talk about the
Of course
Stash
we do.
Bash.
So, right here, May 7th and 8th, Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash Silver Anniversary Bash.
5 years.
25 years of keeping the doors open here at Jay and Silent Bob Secret Stash. So this is going to be a star-studded event. We've got Kevin Smith, Jason Mewes, Jennifer Schwalbach's going to be here, Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson, Trevor Furman,
Marilyn.
Gigliotti.
And then for the picture portion, I think we're definitely going to have John Will Young
John
and
Will Young.
Scott Schiaffo.
I believe we've got Scott Schiaffo
And Ernie O'Donnell.
And Ernie O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's 10 people in one photo along with you. So, yeah.
Come through,
tickets are
people.
selling fast, buddy.
Yeah,
we
they're
have a lot of
going.
social media out there. You can go check out some of the information on Talk.
And you get a swag bag with Stash exclusive
And you get a Q&A later that night.
People,
Yeah,
I
it just
need
keeps
to-
going on and on.
I need to tell you, I've seen what's in this bag. It is worth it for that alone.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It's so cool.
I mean, it's
So,
worth it for just the picture.
It's worth it for it's worth it for the
Yeah,
whole shebang.
I mean-
Let's be honest here.
Let's
Yeah,
put
it's
it
gonna be
this
a
way.
lot of fun.
If you were to pay for each of these separate things, you'd be looking at about $500. Because
Oh,
the
at least.
picture with 10 people from
Yeah.
Clerks, that is easily a $200 thing by itself. The swag bag, oh my God, that stuff in there is worth, plus the bag itself is worth at least $200. And the Q&A, three-way Q&A that evening, again, that's a $150 ticket right
But
there.
let me tell you, you know what? One of the nicest things. I mean, and it's a big event, so there's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces. Someone texted me earlier and said, "Are you getting a little nervous?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I am."
Yeah.
But I can tell you that everybody involved, like everybody who's going to be here, everyone working it, I mean, everyone is just so excited about it. They just, Kevin was here last week, and actually Jen was with him because they were out here celebrating her birthday, and and she's just a sweetheart, and she's super excited. Everyone's just excited.
I met
Excited
Jen for the
event.
first time over the past summer when they were shooting Clerks 3.
Yeah.
And she made it a point to say hello to me.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, that was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was honestly afraid to meet her in Harley, but she's a nice, so nice,
Oh,
so
yeah.
kind.
She is amazing.
So it's just going to be, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're hoping, the weather so far, you can never really predict, but, it just keeps getting better and better here, at the Jersey Shore. So we're expecting just a rockin' weekend.
It's
So
going to be
hope
awesome.
you can join
people.
us. Yeah, go to smodcast.com. Check it out there. You could, like I said, the Stash has got tons of social media out there with links to tickets. So
Yeah, go to
love
See
see you.
Smod. You can buy your tickets right there. So.
Fun fact, I will also be there doing a Q&A from the janitor's closet. So if you guys have some questions for me,
Very cool.
I'll be there. So I will not actually be doing that, but I'll probably be there doing something.
There's a question.
some way,
Will you
shape, or
shut
form.
up in there?
Yeah.
Quiet down in that janitor's closet.
Mind your business.
All right. The top 5 of the week here at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. We should have music for that too. Go to town.
We do have a comment from Bill who keeps saying how much he loves the show, but also said he would contribute some music. Bill, I'm gonna reach out to you, man. I wanna hear some stuff. And he also said his wife Sheila loves your hair. I'm assuming that
think
means
it's
all
yours.
of us. 'Cause
Loves
we all
all of
have
our hair?
We all have pretty good hair.
Yeah, we
So
do.
I will say that is for all of us.
You tell Sheila that we love her. So.
Well, thank you, Sheila. I appreciate
All
it.
right, so Bill,
Feed my ego.
insert your music here. All right, beautiful. So, number 1.
Oh, these are the comic picks?
Top 5 of the week.
Let's do it.
Flashpoint Beyond. This is Jeff Johns, where he takes 2 of his beloved miniseries that kind of changed the face of comic books and jams them together. It's like, you got Flashpoint in my my Doomsday Clock. No, you got Doomsday Clock in my Flashpoint. That's it, right there.
What if we combined them together?
Yeah. So we got Flashpoint Beyond. So we get to see 2 Batmen, a Thomas Wayne and a Bruce Wayne Batman, who are working on opposite sides of the bleed, whatever you want to call it, on the multiversal wall to bring about the same result. So we're going to see how successful they are.
Question for that story, do they know that they're working in
No.
tent? Oh, okay.
No, they do not.
That's cool.
Yes, very cool.
All right,
All right.
comic number 2.
Here we go. Nightmare Country. This is part of the Sandman universe.
Oh, okay.
This gentleman up here, this lovely, lovely gentleman. You can show Christian the picture.
Whoa.
See that?
Whoa.
That's gross, right?
That looks like a Pink Floyd cover.
It is.
I'm all about it.
That gentleman you're looking at is the Corinthian, and he is your
Disgusting.
He is disgusting and your worst nightmare brought to life. So this is by James Tinian IV, and
The banana splits come to life?
yes.
That's my worst nightmare?
and a host.
Shit.
Well, actually, yeah, pretty much. Well, the banana splits did come to life.
I
buddy.
know, they made a horror movie. I'm just
know.
kidding around. All right. So this is in the universe of Sandman,
Yes.
Nightmare Country, and this is number 1.
That's the Corinthian. Yes.
All right.
This is very, very cool. What if Miles Morales became Wolverine? They did this with What if Miles Morales became... Why? Just put it down. No, put it down.
Okay.
There you go. You can hold it up. I don't care. Do what you want. I'm not the boss of you.
Don't
Actually,
fight.
I am
No, I'm
the
just
boss of
kidding.
you, So,
Go ahead. Talk about it.
all right, good enough. So it's Miles Morales became Wolverine. This is, I believe, a 5-issue series of what ifs. Miles Morales becomes different characters in the Marvel universe. First, we saw him become Captain America. Now we're going to see him become Wolverine.
Oh, that's really cool.
Who else is he going to be? Don't know.
This, I don't know if it would be possible. I want this to be a part of the What If show so badly.
That would be fantastic.
That would be amazing.
We will see.
Oh, man. So comic number 4.
This is near and dear to your heart. This is X-Men 92.
92.
Yes, actually, if you flip it around, does that say X-Men 90? Yeah, it's X-Men 92. This is based on the cartoon, which got you back into comic books. Yeah. So, yes, this X-Men, the animated adventures got Julia back into comics, and hence we met and got married. So that's pretty awesome.
Question for you, Jules. So wait, it was the 97 show that got you back into comic books?
92.
92 show that got you back into comic books?
It
Are you
was.
excited for X-Men 97?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it is so. I mean, listen, I have no problem with adaptations, adaptations that are well done, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I was an English major, so I'm very familiar with people's, appreciation and insistence on canon. And there's some elements of some stories that I think are sacrosanct, but I love it when good writers and good storytellers kind of riff on, on good stories. But the fact that they're bringing it back old school, and I'm going to get to feel the same feelings, like in the same way that I did way back then.
Same cast.
I cannot
Same writers with some
freaking
new
wait
ones.
for it. I know.
Thank you, Disney.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that often, but thank you, Disney. Comic number 5.
Is that sort of like saying thank you, Satan?
I guess so.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Mickey, I guess. No, it still hurts.
All right.
Anyway.
and this one is A Town Called Terror. Now,
Ooh.
this is pretty impressive. If you like horror. And
do like
who doesn't like
horror.
horror? This is by Steve Niles, who has a beef with me. Steve Niles, yeah, I know. It's a long story. But it's by him. I'm still going to give it the thumbs up because this is very cool from Image.
Put the beef aside.
Yeah.
This is a cool looking book.
Yes, trust the art, not the artist. So, A Town Called Terror, pick it up. I'm not going to ruin it for you. It's just realize it's creepy as shit. How about that? That's where I can go with it.
Yeah, from the picture alone, I'm feeling very invoked of like Nightmare on Elm Street type
Yes,
horror.
it's got a little bit of that, and it's also it's
Wow.
yeah, that's nasty. It's nasty horror. So there we are.
Okay. And those are the comic picks of the week? I can dig it.
Yes,
And you know where you can find those fine comics? At your local comic book store, but also
at Jay and
Jalen
Silent
Bob
Bob's.
Saad's Secret Stash.
Dabba dabba dabba.
I
I saw that. That was good.
Had a little bit of a stroke there. I'm good.
That's all right.
I promise. I'm okay.
So that's your top 5 of the week from here at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. Boom.
All right, gentlemen, nice show.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So
Ready to call it a wrap?
I am ready to call it. Christian, how we look at all these people.
We're doing.
I was
we're
going
doing
to say
great on
thank you to
time.
everybody who's made comments and tuning in. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, people,
to read
just
and
remember we
respond.
are interactive. Last week, I made a promise of sending somebody a something. I
A
was gonna
book.
Was it a book?
I think so. Yeah, it
All right,
was
it was a book.
some sort of book.
Yes, and they had to choose your quote, but nobody got it, so we're off the hook.
Yeah, I think we're going to come up with we have a couple of plans, but we're
Yeah.
not ready to reveal them yet. So,
No.
yeah, it's just going to keep getting
No, I'm
more and
just
more
saying.
fun. Yeah,
But nobody got your quote either, so
true.
all right.
Do you
so-
want to reveal or wait until someone gets it?
No,
We'll wait.
and we'll just
wait.
wait.
Fair enough.
That's fine.
There was actually something I wanted to tell you part of why I wanted to do this show, and it was because you will not remember because this was before I knew you and worked for you,
Okay.
but like you actually sold me my first, at least first volume of a graphic book, and it was Green Hornet #1 by Kevin.
Oh, cool.
So I remember reading that book and being hype after I got it, and that is kind of what reignited like, oh, I'm getting back into comics for sure.
Very cool.
So I just want to say thank you, and thank you for allowing me to do this show with you, man. This is so much fun.
Oh my God.
I love this.
I don't remember selling you that book, but I'm glad I did now. So awesome.
Thank you, man. All right, people. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Folks,
That's
thanks
right.
so much. Come see us next Wednesday, New Comics Day here at the Secret Stash. And yeah, have a great week.
Have a great week, guys. Take care.